from us. Love wants you, we can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it, dance.
Hey guys, what's cracking? It is Krakenation, and we are back today. And we're going to be continuing to look at our analyses for the competitive OU metagame, and today we're going to be looking at Pheromosa, one of the other Ultra Beasts, following up Guzzlord, which was our last one. Pheromosa is a very cool Pokemon who has definitely made a very, very large splash in the metagame, almost to the point of being controversial in regards to its ban or not. Today I'll be giving you my feelings on that topic as well, a little bit, hopefully, and then you can reach your own decision on if you think that or not. But we're going to hop right into it. So right off the bat, you see Pheromosa with really, really stellar offensive stats, that eye-popping 151 speed that outspeeds even the things like Mega Alakazam and Mega Aerodactyl, and that's something that just a lot of Pokemon cannot claim to be able to do. It does have paper thin defenses that make Gengar look bulky, but it is definitely a very one type. It doesn't have any defensive versatility. Let's make that really clear off the bat. This is an offensive Pokemon. This is a hyper offensive Pokemon. You will not be using it for defense. If you use it for defense, you should not be playing Pokemon, or you're doing it for the memes and lols. So, Beast Boost is a very cool ability, and it is one of the Pokemon that can make use of it. However, I will say that, unfortunately, with its speed stat the way it is, unless you go like if you go with an adamant nature, you can get the Beast Boost stat on your attack set, which is what you really would want, I feel like. But then, because you want Adamant Nature, you're actually going to end up losing out on a lot of Scarfed outspeeds. There's a lot of Scarfed Pokemon will start to outspeed you more than they otherwise would have. So then you want to start boosting your speed, but then you start finding it has underwhelming problems with attack, especially considering its coverage isn't too stellar. However, I'm saying all these negative things about it, but I do just want to say, like, this thing is dominating the metagame because it is so fast. It outspeeds almost all Scarfers, let alone the entire metagame. And it has the coverage it needs for quite a few threats. It does have a few very niche counters, but I think the fact that things like Alolan Marowak have risen to the top just because they can counter this thing speaks to how much of a splash it made in the metagame, that its niche counters are now considered OU staples. You know, I think that's speaks a lot to how much Pheromosa has altered the metagame. But yeah, that speed set is kind of just nuts. Mega Zam was already crazy fast, and to be able to outspeed that is gross. I don't know how else to phrase that. Like, you can outspeed a lot of Scarfers. Like, I don't know. I want to say, you are up there with Landers, a Scarf Land OT. I think, man, that's nuts. I think you can outspeed a +2 Adamant Landorus, which is. That's some psycho stuff. This thing's so fast. But regardless, we're going to start getting into some sets. Our first set is the all-out mix set, and basically these sets all run the exact same moves because, as I said, Pheromosa is really, really, really lacking in the coverage standpoint. 252 attack, 252 speed just gives it max attack, max speed, obviously, and the naive nature allows it to boost its speed without lowering its special attack. And it doesn't really matter to Pheromosa because it's not going to be taking any attacks anyways, so its bulk is already useless. Access to U-turn makes it really great as a pivot on offensive teams. Really great potential lead. High jump kick is the most spammable move by far and hits very hard, obviously. I'm a big fan of high jump kick. Ice Beam is pretty useful. It allows you to things like Tank Chomp and especially Landorus T, who otherwise would have been a pretty great answer to Pheromosa. Finally, Poison Jab is there as a way to hit fairies who you otherwise weren't hitting. However, unfortunately, as you can see, unless you run a hidden power of some sort, you can't hit Alolan Marowak and things like that. So you gotta be aware that there will be very good. There are things that just beat this, and that's why they're good. You know, things like I said earlier. That's why Alolan Marowak is in the metagame. It's a big part of it is because it checks Pheromosa. So you're gonna have to be aware of that and then team build around it. But I would say this is by far the most popular set. It actually was the set I used, I believe, in my video with this on my team in the late night laddering session. But the next set we have coming at you guys is the Choice Scarf set, and that's going to be with pretty much the exact same coverage moves. Bug Buzz is here as an alternative because it has a little bit more special attack investment because it can afford to do that. If this thing is so fast that once it's holding a Scarf, it can just become just obscene. you can especially once you start boosting up your other stats, it's just ridiculous. I don't know if these EVs actually I will say these EVs are straight out of the Smogon decks, because I don't know a lot of these Pokemon well enough to know every single set that's going around the meta. That said, 152 speed seems like it's an important number if it's there. Don't know why. I don't know. But high jump kick is obviously the spam move, really just the same coverage moves, and then Bug Buzz is a special alternative because you now have that special investment. I am hoping that this allows Pheromosa to get the attack boost with Beast Boost, because otherwise this would be useless. And if it's not, make sure you EV yours to do that, because that would be what makes this set good. I can't say I've never tried this set out, so I can't speak too much on it. But definitely make sure that your Pheromosa is getting an attack boost, because you don't want a Pheromosa getting a speed boost when it's already holding a Scarf. That's very excessive. But regardless, definitely a really powerful cleaner. I can imagine this set being very effective as long as that attack stat is the one being boosted, But Pheromosa is, that's what Pheromosa does as far as sets, and then we're going to look at some just final wrap-ups about it. Its ability to outspeed almost everything in the metagame makes it just really, really dominant, both with offensive teams and playing against offensive teams. Basically, every hyper-offensive team in the ladder is running a Pheromosa, it seems like nowadays. Just because this thing, can eat up hyper-offense that's not ready for it, and it fits so well in the hyper-offensive archetype, which is just, it fits really well as a cleaner, honestly. It fits as a cleaner because of this next reason, if I'm being honest, which is it's sometimes limited by its coverage and slightly underwhelming offense. 137 attack is obviously a great attack stat, but it relies on the life orb to boost that, and that is obviously still very good, and high jump kick hits really hard. I'm not trying to downplay that, but the fact that you only have one, what could be called strong attack in high jump kick, U-turn, isn't that powerful. The fact that you only have high jump kick as your powerful attack means, and it doesn't have a lot of coverage beyond that, means that it's going to be really slightly underwhelming when you're trying to sweep with it or do anything like that. That's the one limiting thing I think that really holds this thing back. I think if it had a more diverse coverage options, this thing would go Ubers so fast. It's just because things like Alola Marowak so easily check it. There's nothing that Pheromosa can do about that. It has to run hidden power with specs or something. I don't even know to beat those things. And then at that point you're running such a niche set that you've given up on being extremely competitive overall. But as I kind of hope I've alluded to, this thing has quickly become a metagame defining threat. Just the ability to outspeed the things it does and then hit as reliably as it does, albeit with mediocre coverage, is what makes this thing I think it's A+ right now, and it's just nuts. I will say, in my personal opinion, this thing belongs in OU. I don't think it needs to go to Ubers because its coverage really holds it back from what otherwise would have been broken as all hell. But yeah, so that's Pheromosa, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, very appreciated. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Krakenation out.